Hey guys, this is Long Haul Larry with Big Blue. It is Saturday, 12:52 p.m., 80 degrees. We are running 70 here across Pennsylvania on the turnpike. And you know what? JBG Travels may have invented the Honky Mr. Tunnel, but I think we're gonna improve on it. Gotta try to time this right so I don't get cars next to me. Go. Let's see what Honky Mr. Tunnel sounds like now. That there is Mr. Honky. So, JBG Travels, you may have started Honky Mr. Tunnel. I just perfected it. So we are just running along. This car's probably like, what's going on? What happened? Where's the train? I don't hear a train. I don't see a train. How's there a train in a tunnel? But we are just rolling along. We got to get ourselves up to Shawano, Wisconsin. And oh yeah, I'll show you some footage, some older footage I shot the last couple days of the install of the horn. There we go. Gotta shut off the air supply to it. There we go. We're off like a herd of turtles, 70 miles an hour. We are actually located in Bristol, Virginia. It is August 10th, 2018. I'm in here doing my 10-hour break, and I'm actually thinking that there's going to be a subscriber that's going to be showing up. He's been trying to meet me for a little bit, and so I'm just kind of hanging out and figured I'd do a little project while I was waiting. And let me show you what the project is. A couple of you caught little glimpses of it. There's been all this talk about it, and I keep saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, there it is. That's right, a train horn. I don't know if you guys saw JBG Travels video when I took him into the Mafia Chrome shop. The guy took us back in the shop, and John wanted to hear some train horns. So the guy took us back in the shop, and he blew a train horn for us. This is the train horn that he blew. This is the one. It was really loud. I mounted it up here. Sometimes you put them down underneath the frame. You're probably thinking, well, you could just tie it in with your air horn in the truck and everything. I don't want to do that because the air horn for the truck has a 1/4 inch line. This has a bigger opening. It has a 3/8. And yes, I could change that from a 1/4 inch. I could put some adapters in there to take it up to a 3/8. But the thing is that the air line that's a 1/4 inch is only going to allow so much airflow through it. So I want a direct 3/8 line coming to this so that there's a max amount of air that can get into this, get me the loudest sound. You can see how I mounted it here. I actually mounted it onto the bracket right for the fairing here. I figured that way I don't have to drill anything into the truck. And kind of I stuck it back here. I think it's going to be louder back here. I think it's going to get more sound. And also being out in the open like this. And also being back here, it's chrome. Got to show you chrome off. So I just mounted it on here. There was actually 2 holes that were already in there, so I just used those 2 holes. I just drilled 1 hole into the bracket. It's not a big deal. But when I mounted it, it was really flimsy. It really bounced, and I was afraid that sitting here bouncing down the highway, it was actually going to bend this bracket. So what I did is I popped one of the pop rivets out of the truck here, and what I did is I made this little bracket. I welded this up, a little piece of angle iron, and I mounted it right onto the nut that mounts on here. And just put it back in. I put a new pop rivet in, and if I take this off of here, all you gotta do is put the pop rivet back in, put a little blue touch-up paint on there. Never knew it. So I figured that way it's easy on, easy off. But that really helps with it mounting and everything. It doesn't move around too much, so it has a little bit of a jiggle to it, but you're gonna have that. This thing is actually really heavy. It's really heavy. But there's an air fitting on the back side of here, and then it's actually operated by electricity. It's got a little 12-volt little deal in there, a solenoid, that the air goes to it, and when you hit that power to the solenoid, it opens up and blows the air out through the horns. So what I'm doing is I'm giving it its own air supply. I'm taking it right off of one of the air tanks, so it's direct supply. That air tank could be the supply for it. And I have the hose down there fitted out. All I did is pulled out one of the plugs out of the air tank, and I got a couple fittings to fit to a 3/8 inside diameter hose. I was going to use like a poly hose, but it was just not working out. So I grabbed this stuff here, because all the hose that I was looking for, it was all rated for like 100 psi, 120 psi, and I didn't have time to go to a truck shop. I may do this better some other time, but this is just a quick hookup. This is actual airline, and this is rated up to 250 psi. So this will work. So what I've done is I've hooked it up, and I have a hole back in here where all my wiring is ran up through. This is where I ran from my inverter. You can see my inverter where I mounted it back up in there. It's kind of a mess in here, sorry. And I got all the wires run up for that. And that's working real good. And then here's the wiring from the old Qualcomm system or whatever they had in here from Warner, when Warner owned this truck. And I ran the hose up in here, and there's actually a gap that runs right along this wall behind the cabinetry. And it comes right back in here. And I can actually fit back in here and grab it. I've fitted a hose already through here. Let's see, where is it? There it is. Let's see, and I can just feed it through, and I don't have to drill any holes or nothing, and the line comes up. And what's going to happen is I need to hook a valve to it. The Chrome Shop sold valves that you could mount on your dash or whatever, these big chrome valves and all this stuff. You'd flip the valve, and that would put air to the horn, and then you push a button, and that would make the horn go. Well, the valves that they were selling were like 75 bucks. They were crazy expensive. So I just got me an air valve. This was for an air compressor. I bought it at a hardware store, and it's 3/8 so that it's got the same, so it doesn't reduce the flow, because if you get a 1/4 inch valve, even though you got a 3/8 hose and you go down to a 1/4 inch, you're restricting the airflow. So you want to make sure everything is the same size or bigger. So this is a 3/8 valve. And what I did is I made myself a mounting bracket. I just took a piece of flat steel and I bent it up and I drilled some holes in it. And I got a couple fittings here. And I'm going to mount this bracket right in with that wall right in there with some good double stop tape. And then I just put a fitting on each end of this. I'm going to do this one side. Yeah, the hole is like perfectly sized of this thing, so it's kind of tricky to get started. There we go. So then I'll put some pipe dope on this, put the fitting on the other end, screw these down, and then there's a little fitting that this hose will sit over the top of, and then this will sit inside the truck. When I want to put air, it'll be like that, and when I want to blow that horn, I just reach down, flip the valve up, that supplies air to the horn, and then hit the button. And that's going to save me a lot of money on a big fancy chrome valve, because I really don't need that. So that'll sit back in here, just like that. So then all I do is just flip this down, boom, boom, easy peasy. I just reach down my hand and sitting in the seat, and I can flip it on. Then I looked around, and I needed some kind of electrical switch to provide power, but I didn't want a flip switch, a toggle switch, because then it, flipping it and it's on and off. I wanted something that you actually just push the button. So I looked around at a Fleet Farm, which is kind of a box hardware store up at my house. And this is an old style horn that you could put like on a tractor or something. They came with this mount that actually mounts right on the steering wheel. It's kind of like one of those wheel things that you could turn. And you mount this up on there and you press it and it's a horn button. So that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna stick it right up there. I'm gonna use some double-sided tape and stick it up above me up there and wire it up, and then you just boom, boom, and you get your train whistle. So there you go. John thinks he's Mr. Honky Honky. You just wait. I'm actually headed up to deliver this load, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be picking up my Shauna load, and guess what? That means I'm going out through the tunnel. So when I go out through that tunnel out there in Pennsylvania, better watch out, boys and girls. Hey guys, here we are. We're actually at our receiver, and I'm gonna finish hooking up my train horns. Toot toot. I have the line all ran. It's back up in here. Got it tied into here, but this is not a good fitting. The little fitting that comes out of here, that screws into there and comes out, is not a 1/4 inch, and it's also not a 3/8. It's from China or someplace, and it's something special. So I got the hose on there. It's over the top of the barbs, and it's on the like hex part. And then I put a hose clamp right on there, and when I put air to it, it does leak. So right here is my valve. When I put air onto it, you can hear it leak just a little bit. It'll work for like tomorrow, and then what I'll do is I'll get a fitting, a different fitting that I can thread in there, and that'll actually accept that hose. But it'll work for right now, because I just shut it off in the truck and just turn it on and just to blow that horn for a second. I should go ask those guys if they'll loan me, but I don't think so. It's kind of junk. I've had this thing mounted back here for like 2 weeks, and it's already starting to rust. All the little nuts and stuff. When I bought it, they actually told me, he says, just so you know, the horns might fall off. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, the chrome ones, they fall apart. He goes, so keep an eye on them. He goes, they're covered under warranty. So now we got to hook up this little switch right here. And the messed up thing too is there's no instructions with it. I don't know which wire is positive and negative. There is no markings on here. Oh, wait a minute. No. Thought I saw something just engraved on there, but no. So, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter or something. I don't know. We'll find out. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be doing some wiring. Right here is my little switch that's going to activate the horn. And what I'm going to do is I have taken this molding off the door so I can run wires up underneath all that molding. And what I'm going to do is pull the panel apart here. I found this earlier, and I found 2 wires in there that they're on all the time. It's a positive and negative. So then I'm going to tie into that. I was going to just ground it into the frame, but I found a negative wire already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a good solid wire up to there, and I'm actually going to run it over inside up inside the top console, and I'm going to put a 12-volt outlet on the bottom of there with some USB plugins to charge cameras and all this stuff. But I'm going to tie off of it, and I'm going to Velcro this switch right here. And I'm going to put that switch right there, just like that. That'd be a good place to put some Velcro on there. Then all you gotta do is just pull a couple wires coming out of here up to there, going back, and then run it back down through here, through all this plastic here, come on down, and it'll go right out back into this cabinet back in here, just like I ran the hoses out there up to the horn. So that there is the plan. Well, there we go, guys, jumping off of the turnpike. And I'm really happy to get off of there, guys. It's been nuts with traffic. Just been crazy. So there you go. Mr. Train Horn is installed. Seems to work pretty good. I'll tell you what, if I ever come up on a truck or a car or something at night, kind of swerving around and sleeping, you know, falling asleep, I got a pretty loud alarm clock to let them know, hey, you're falling asleep, buddy. Time to open your eyes. Oh, we got mass confusion here. Merlot, Vange, and CR England. And of course, you got the white car that's got a zoom come up there. I gotta get in. I gotta go. And I got a maroon car coming too. It's coming right around me. There you go, buddy. You got a lot farther. So to tell you the truth, you know, John, he titles his videos when he goes through their Honky Honky Mr. Tunnel. I don't think he can title that anymore. I think I've taken that title away from him. I think that now he has to title his videos when he goes through there and does that. Beep, beep, Mr. Tunnel. So, we are just rolling westbound, heading towards Washington, PA, West Virginia, and into Ohio. Rolling miles. So I'll catch you guys later. Hope everyone out there is having themselves a great day, great night when you're watching this here video. If you are not, we certainly can change that. Let's try it all over again tomorrow. So until next time, guys, see you later. Bye.